The following is a special presentation of Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. Good evening, and Mr. and Mrs. South America, North America, and all the ships at sea. Let's go to press. We wrap up week number 12 of our usual weekly recap, although I'll be recapping a few less games this week. And if you're looking for a game, you could find it either on this channel, the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims channel, or on payhip.com. I did 4 games during the week on payhip, so I played out 9 games. Our first stop, Philadelphia and New England. Philadelphia and New England. And this is where I wish I had the NFL Films music behind me. I think that's the song called The Connection. And New England over Philadelphia 24-7. They improved to, well, we'll get to that in a moment. Philadelphia continuing the struggle this year, although at the end of the first quarter, they had a 7-7 tie with New England. Bledsoe threw a couple of TD passes. Cunningham ran one in for the 24-7. It was 7-3 Philadelphia, actually. And there is your final stats. Philadelphia did not make any trips to the red zone in this game. I am wondering where my cat is. You see it there. Bledsoe, 240 yards. Who was the MVP of this game? Pray tell. Well, it was Bledsoe. So he went 19 of 36, 240. And I'll scroll down so you can see all the stats in this one. Allen led the way with 7 tackles. And your final was 24-7. New England now moves to 7-5. They will now be 2 games behind Washington. And we'll get to some news of note once we get into our game today, which is Chicago, Minnesota. Carolina and New York. New York, 11-point favorite. They have been on a hot streak as of late, and that hot streak continues on as they move to 8-4. They're a game behind Washington for the East lead. Your MVP for this game, Y.A. Tuttle. And you see the summary there. And there you see the team stats. They had 445 yards and only had 1 trip to the red zone. This was a 27-17 game. And both teams combined for 1 trip to the red zone. And here are your player stats. Tittle went 16 of 27, 228, a 119.1 average. Barber a big day. And Powell had a big day. Let me turn my phone off while I'm thinking of it. So your final was 27-17. New York goes 8-4 on the year. And Carolina now 2-10. And they could be tied with the worst record if Tennessee won their game. Green Bay and Indianapolis, definitely a game to pass on. Green Bay wins 19-14. They have been struggling all year. MVP Aaron Rodgers. Longwell hit a whole bunch of field goals, 4 of them. Team stats. And if you find a stat you might like, you might just want to pause this stream for a moment. I'll just stay on this a little bit. 1 touchdown for Green Bay in the third quarter, and that was it for the second half. Your player stats. Luck had the better day of everybody, but Rodgers wound up being MVP, 19 of 32, 170 yards. They do that quarterback by committee thing in Green Bay. Potts led in rushing, 8 for 67. Wayne had the best receiving day, 7 for 93. Harrison and Kaufman also with 7 catches. So Green Bay will now move to 4 and 8, but they are way behind Chicago. If Chicago loses to Minnesota in this stream, they will be 5 back. But Chicago could tie San Francisco for the best record in the HTFL. So if you were watching us Tuesday, Dallas beat Atlanta 24-13. We did the Pittsburgh-Buffalo game on PayHip on Monday. We did Washington-Baltimore on Tuesday. We did Cincinnati-St. Louis on PayHip on Wednesday. We did Miami and Tampa Bay on YouTube on Wednesday. Jacksonville and Tennessee. Jacksonville had a good start to the year, and they win this one 21-19. And Tennessee made it close with 35 seconds left. Tannehill threw a pass to Dyson, but they could not get the 2 to tie the game. Of course, Tennessee earlier this season lost the game on an overtime safety to Miami, 15-13. And here are your team stats. Taylor was the MVP for Jacksonville. And Tennessee outgained the Jaguars. And time of possession, only 6 seconds between them. And your player stats. Gerard had a good day for Jacksonville, 16 of 21. Johnson had 153 yards on 20 carries for Tennessee, so he must have had getting away from the cop speed most of the day. Mason had 8 catches, but Taylor, receiving, had 75 yards, so that's probably why he took MVP honors. And Ramsey led everybody with 11 tackles. 21-19, and that's going to move Jacksonville to 4 and 8, and they will be 4 behind Tampa Bay and Dallas, who are now tied for the South Division lead. They will be doing battle next week on this very channel, Lord willing, and if the creek doesn't rise. So on Wednesday, Miami beat Tampa Bay in overtime, 20-14. You see the St. Louis Cincinnati, that was the PayHip game. Houston and New Orleans we skipped on. Battle of teams on I-10, and New Orleans wins 17-9. Here's the scoring summary. Breeze took player of the game honors. Team stats. It's a lot easier to do when you only have to recap 7 games. And your player stats. Breeze, 22 of 34, 217, a 92.4 clip. Watson had the most yardage. He's the quarterback for Houston, 52. Of course, Watson is now going to go to Cleveland, although he may be facing a disciplinary suspension from the league. And Thomas and Galbraith each had 7 catches, and Thomas had the most yardage of anybody. No, I take that back. It was Andre Johnson who had the most yardage of anybody with 82 yards. And here are your defensive leaders. Dishman with 8 for the Oilers. I called them the Texans. I take it back. In the HTFL, they are the Oilers. On Thursday, we did the Kansas City-Denver game. You see the score there. And on Thursday, we also did Los Angeles-San Francisco. You see the score right here. Right there. Arizona and Seattle, 3 and 8 teams. One will be 4 and 8, and that team will be Arizona, who will now be 6 behind San Francisco, but they are in 5th place. 12-7 was the final. So it was a week for low-scoring games, I assume. MVP was Smith. And he scored with 4:27 left to go in the 4th quarter, and that was the difference. That wound up being the difference. Team stats. 4 trips to the red zone for Arizona, 1 for Seattle. So Arizona goes 4 and 8, and Seattle, just like they are in real life, at least at the 2021 season, they're really struggling. Warner, 16 of 29, 168. Smith had 20 carries, 89 yards. Centers had more catches, 7 for 52. But it was Fitzgerald, 3 catches, 68 that led everybody. And your defensive leader was Wagner, 15 tackles. He had a very busy day. So we got one more game to recap, Las Vegas and San Diego. Denver, if Las Vegas wins, they'll be tied with Denver. And then we'll go through the games that we're going to do in Week 13, which will start next Monday, which will be, I believe, the 28th. We'll go into April. 30-10, San Diego over Vegas. So Vegas loses a key game here. Tomlinson was the MVP, a 45-yard touchdown run. And that must have been the difference. And only 89 yards for Las Vegas. Wow. 31 rushing, 86 passing, so they must have given up a bunch of sacks. San Diego held it for 42-56. Well, that'll get you a game win. And Vegas only had 34 plays, and San Diego wound up with 72. Yeah, I can understand how they won. Rivers 23 of 34, 237, 97.3 rating. Tomlinson 142 yards. Allworth 9 for 94, led in catches and yardage. And who did well defensively? Asamuga for Vegas had 13 tackles. Well, he should have, because they were on the field defensively for quite a while. So it's Vegas losing 30-10 as San Diego dominated that game. They moved to 4-8. They'll be tied with Arizona for 5th place in the West Division. And that'll get us to our game, Chicago, Minnesota. I know I'll be doing these games on YouTube next week. Monday, Pittsburgh and Washington. Tuesday, Chicago and Minnesota. Wednesday, a big one in the South, Tampa Bay and Dallas. They're both 8-4. Thursday, Arizona and San Francisco, because all these games in the West Division aren't all that good this week. And then Monday night, we moved Atlanta and Miami to Monday night, and I'll pick the pay-hip games as I go through next week. So let's get us to our game today, Chicago and Minnesota, your Friday game which is actually Monday Night Football. And it's going to be Minnesota at home. It'll be 15 degrees. I shaved 10 degrees off the temperature on Monday nights. 15 degrees at TCF Stadium. So I'll play as Minnesota, and the computer will take Chicago. And I have a couple of news items that I will be working in as the game progresses. Kyle Orton now leading the charge for Chicago. Good luck with that. Fran Tarkenton will be in charge of the Vikings. Coin toss. Even though there isn't a usage setting, I have found doing the HTFL these last 2 years that the computer kind of arbitrarily sets usage penalties up, even if you don't click them. So Minnesota will receive. They had a nightmare of a game. They were up 28-0 against Detroit last week and lost in overtime 34-31. So let's see if they recover from that. Ishmael, Nelson, and Jones. And we're underway from Minnesota. They are in the purple and Chicago in white. Your offense for Minnesota is Peterson, a 3 receiver, Kleinsasser, a 4, Carter, a 10, Diggs, an 8. Those are your wide receivers. Jordan is a 7, Tarkenton, a 10, Zimmerman, McDaniel, Tingelhoff, White, and Yeri, all but White are 10s, and White is an 8. We'll go through the Chicago defense in just a moment. Trap right, Peterson, 1st and 10 from the 20. It is Peterson with a 2-yard gain. Night Train Lane on the tackle for Chicago. He is part of the Chicago team because Chicago is comprised of the Bears and the Chicago Cardinals. And so they have a very stout defense. Atkins, Dent, McMichael, and Chambers, all nines. That's your front four. Fortunato is a 10. Urlacher a 10 plus. And by the way, his second and third string linebackers are Dick Butkus and Mike Singletary. Talk about a very a very loaded inside linebacker position. Wilbur Marshall is a 9. Night Train Lane a 10. Tillman an 8. Carrier a 9. And Fensick a 9. And it is 2nd and 8. Pick your poison here if you are the offensive coordinator for Minnesota. Sweep left Peterson on 2nd and 8. I think we'll see a low-scoring game with the weather conditions being what they are, 15 degrees at TCF Bank Stadium, because I forgot when the season started to set them up at their new dome stadium, so they're outdoors, and maybe for Minnesota that's an advantage to them. Screen to Peterson on 3rd and 5. And Peterson will gain 11. Fortunato on the tackle for Chicago. It's a first down. 1st and 10 at the 36. We're going to go Kleinsasser up the middle. Give Peterson a little bit of a rest. So the first item I have for you is Action PC Football 2022 will be coming out April the 17th. As I have previously stated, I'm going to play with Action PC 2021 during the course of this season. Since I started with it, I should finish with it, because 22 is going to have some new wrinkles. Peterson on the pitch, gain of 4, and that was Richard Dent on that TFL. But I'll definitely do some sort of game review of Action PC 2020 Football 2022 in May. I have OOTP slated for the April monthly game review, and I'm probably not going to continue with the OOTP Perfect Team series. I think I'm going to put that to bed after this season. 4th and 10, so Bob Lee is going to come in to punt. And Sano catches it at the 27, returned at 7. The punt went 37 yards. And give me a minute here to have some green tea. And I'll get to the other news item, which now I'm a little biased being in Tampa Bay, but I don't think what I'm going to share with you is true. Payton and Kelliger, 5 and 1 receivers. Hill and Graham are both 7s, as is Ditka. Orton is the quarterback. Connor, Fortman, Turner, Ramsey, and Covert, all 9s, except Turner is a 10 and Ramsey is an 8. 1st and 10 from the 34. And Orton goes long and finds Hill for a 22-yard gain. Defensively, for Minnesota, Eller, Dolman, Page, Randall, a 10, a 9, a 10 plus, and a 10. That's your front 4. Blair, Simeon, Winston, a 9, an 8, and 8. Bryant and Rhodes are both 8s, and Browner and Krause, a 10 and a 9. But I will be previewing Action PC 2022 at some point during May, while the HTFL season drags along, or rolls along. I shouldn't say drag. It's been fun to do. It's been nice therapy for me. 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 44. Gain of a yard for Walter Payton. Rumors are continuing to circulate that Tom Brady could be leaving the Buccaneers and heading to Miami. And that's going to be a house call. That was Graham from 43 yards out. So Chicago with the first blow. Point after. Good by Harder. It's 7-0 with 9:17 left to go in the opening quarter. Ishmael again back deep for Minnesota. He takes it at the 5. And it's a gain of 12 to the 17. We're going to go Peterson trap right on 1st down. And that's a gain of 2. Dent on the stop. It'll be 2nd and 8. I'm going to go Jordan. Anthony Carter comes in as the third wideout, by the way. And that's a catch for Jordan, a gain of 14. McCray is the nickelback in that situation out of Michigan. And now is 1st and 10 for Minnesota at their own 33. But the rumors have been persistent that Brady could be headed to Miami. I don't think Tampa Bay would ever trade him.
False start. Offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So that was Tingelhoff getting called. It's 1st and 15. Back to the double tight end set and to Peterson. Off tackle right. Rudolph comes in as the second tight end. Coverage unknown. And Peterson takes advantage of Chicago playing nickel. Lane making the tackle, a gain of 10. We're going to go Diggs on the quick slant on 2nd and 5. Gain of 8. Kleinsasser injured. Undisclosed injury. He'll be out 20 plays. Bill Brown comes in. We've been seeing a lot of Bill in the games we've been doing involving the Vikings. Trap right, Peterson, 1st and 10 from the 46. And Peterson a gain of 8. Ran for $150 last week against Detroit. In that crazy game, one of the craziest games, not just of action PC football, but of any sport that I have done in almost the 2 years I have been doing this channel. 2nd and 2. You know I love these 2nd and shorts. I'd be very predictable to coach against. Play action bomb to Diggs at the 46. And there's the throw, and there's the catch by Diggs. House call, touchdown, Minnesota. And the crowd goes wild. 7-6. Point after by Walsh is just barely good. Just going inside the left side of the right upright, it's 7-7 with 5:46 to go. Your kick return team for Chicago is Sayers, Sano, and Manning. Omaha. But that kick goes through the end zone for a touchback. Chicago going into the win this first quarter. So Minnesota has the win advantage, and they will have it for quarters 1 and 4. 1st and 10 from the 20. Kelliger with a gain of 6 yards. 2nd and 4 at the 26. I'm continuing to read You Are Looking Live. Good book. I'm in the chapter about Jimmy the Greek now. And that is a 5-yard gain for Peyton behind Jimbo Covert, who was part of the Battle Royal in WrestleMania 2. 1st and 10 at the 31. Peyton, gain of 7. Could that be a bonus episode of Pauly Talks Wrestling on Patreon? Could it be? It might be. Won't be this week, but maybe in a week in the immediate future. 2nd and 3 at the 38. Kelliger, a 1-yard loss. 3:16 now left. In chilly Minnesota. 3rd and 4 at the 37. First down, that is Hill, a gain of 10. 1st and 10 at the 47. 2:37 now left in the opening quarter. It's Peyton gaining 2, Rhodes on the stop. 2nd and 8 at the 49, 1:53 to go. And Kelliger, that was Kelliger recovering the fumble. It was Peyton who fumbled it, forced out by Eller, and a gain of 7 total on the play. 3rd and a yard at the 44. Kelliger gains 2 yards and gets the first. And that'll do it for the opening quarter. It is Chicago 7 and Minnesota 7. Chicago with 11 plays, 8 rushes, 104 yards. Orton is 3 for 3 for 75, by the way. And Minnesota 104 yards, on 12 plays, so they are even. Except Minnesota has one more play, and Tarkenton is off to a good start, 4 for 5. So we will start the second quarter of play. 1st and 10 from the 42. Just doing one game today. I'll tell you about the schedule for the weekend at halftime. That is complete to Ditka. Pass may have touched the ground. I will challenge since I have a 91% chance of an overturn.
Upon further review, the ball touched the ground before being secured. Incomplete. No timeout will be charged.
Okay, so the challenge successful. And that'll make it 2nd and 10 from the 42, and that's the first incompletion for Kyle Orton today. And his throw, that finds the mark. That was Graham, and that's a first down. 1st and 10 at the 32. Surprisingly, if you watched that Denver-Kansas City game, the quarterbacks were really struggling with the wind and the cold. Not the case so far in this game. Not an inch for Peyton, so Peyton is now going to go under shotgun formation. I'm going to key on him here. Peyton's going to throw. And it was a sideline pass to Ditka, incomplete. 12th play of the drive, and this drive consuming a lot of time, 7 minutes and 26 seconds, as Chicago has been successful keeping it on the ground. That throw to Hill, incomplete. 4th and 10 from the 32. But get this, Chicago is punting the ball. I think it's a fake. It is not, and it's a touchback.
Offsides, offense, 5-yard penalty.
I'm going to decline it. That was against George Connor, who would go on and be a commentator for CBS for many years along the side of Red Grange on the Bears network. And it's 1st and 10 from the 20. I'm going to do a stretch play here and go to Peterson. Bring the left side of the line over, and they can aid in the blocking. And Peterson is loose. That's a gain of 13. Wally Chambers on the stop for the Bears. 1st and 10 at the 33. Chicago trying to tie San Francisco for the best record in the HTFL right now. Now, I called a running play, but Chicago playing short tight. I'm going to go medium fly to Chris Carter. Oh, and Tarkenton immediately hit by Atkins. Urlacher pounced on the ball, and Chicago has it. And they have great field position. 1st and 10 from the 25. 12:08 left to halftime. Firing a bullet was Orton, intended for Ditka, but good coverage by Paul Krause forces an incompletion. And now, we were just talking about how accurate Orton had been. He's now 4 for 8 for 85 yards. 2nd and 10 at the 25. And this throw, that was a slant to Graham, and Graham was hit by Bryant, forcing another incompletion. 3rd and 10 from the 25. And that's Hill, and Hill with an 18-yard gain. It was Graham who had the TD reception earlier. It's 1st and goal now at the Viking 7. And Orton held it too long. Blindsided by Alan Page. 2nd and goal from the 14. Orton looking on the right sideline to Graham, incomplete. 3rd and goal now. Orton cannot find Graham. So now they'll try a field goal. This of 31 yards. Oh, did he push it right? He did. It was Gould. Kicking it, Bulldog Turner with a clean snap, but the kick is off the ground, no good. So the snap probably was perhaps not as good as we thought it was up here in the booth. Ball to 21. No, I'm not going to say welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm not Joe Buck, and I don't make $75 million doing these games. Gain of 7. I'm hearing Al Michaels is going to be making that much money just to do Thursday night games on Amazon Prime. Game of 7, and Urlacher made the stop. It's now second in a tray, 3 yards. We'll go Diggs on the slant. And Tarkenton back to throw, and there's another turnover. And this is going to go to the house. Touchdown, McCray. Second pick of the season, and it is a pick six. 13-7, your Bears leading. Point after by Harder is good. 14-7, 9:08 to go. So tomorrow, our Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims HTBL game will be Chicago against the Major League Castaways, who are based out of Anaheim at Angel Stadium. So we'll have that for you sometime tomorrow. We'll also be doing an PayHip HTBL game. And also tomorrow we do Big Pauly's Fight Night. We'll do the light heavyweights. The following week we'll do the heavyweights, and then I'm going to take a week off from the Big Pauly's Fight Night and come back the following week with the second stage of the flyweights. Ishmael, back deep for Minnesota. 2 quick turnovers for
Holding,
the
receiving
Vikings.
team, 10-yard penalty.
Blair called for holding, backing Minnesota up to their own 11. So they're still feeling the bad karma in their house from losing that game against Detroit where they held a 28-0 lead, maybe. Sweep right Peterson, 1st and 10. And Peterson will gain 6 yards. He is up to 47 on the day, or the night. 2nd and 4. The ball at the 17. It's going to be a screen to Adrian. And that will be a first down, gain of 4. His second catch of the day for 15 yards. I'm going to look to Chris Carter and stay in the same formation on a slant. He's got it. Gain of 10, and that'll be a first down on first down. Back to the double tight end set. We'll go Kleinsasser with a dive. And he trudges ahead for no gain. Urlacher on the stop. 2nd and 10 from the 31. Medium out to Chris Carter. Got 2 Carters in the game right now, but an incompletion there. Good coverage by Night Train Lane. We're going to look to Anthony Carter on the medium cross. 3rd and 10 from the 31. Incomplete. 4th down and 10. Bob Lee into punt. Punting into the wind here, but still a good punt. It backed up Sano.
Holding, receiving team.
And that holding penalty is going to back him up even further. 1st and 10 from the 14. 5:31 to go. And that's a strike to Hill. Tackled by Rhodes, a gain of 23. Orton now 6 of 13, 126 yards and a touchdown. 1st and 10 from the 37, and Orton hit. Chicago will maintain possession. He actually fumbled the snap, and Orton did a quick dive on the ball to keep it out of Minnesota's hands. 2nd and 15 now from the 32. Under 5 minutes to go in the half. Hill with another great catch. 15 yards. And Graham now 2 for 53. Curtis Conway coming in. 1st and 10 from the 47. So they go 3 wide. Gain of 5 for Peyton. And that sets up 2nd and 5 from the 48. They didn't go
Holding,
2 wide. They stayed
defense.
3 wide.
Number 29, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Holding against defense. What I was trying to say is they did not go 3 wide. They stayed 2 wide. It's just Conway is now in the game, the left split end. And after the defensive holding, it's 1st and 10 from the 43. 2:31 now left in the half, and that is Graham. Gain of 6. 2nd and 4 from the 37 with 2:24 to play. This is incomplete. 3rd and 4 from the 37. And Graham with another catch of 5 yards. See what Chicago does. They're not going to run a play before the 2-minute warning. So it's 14-7 Chicago, and they're moving the ball. 2 timeouts for the Bears, 3 for the Vikings. Hill has 5 catches for 88. Graham 4 for 64. First and 10. The ball at the 32 of Minnesota. The throw, incomplete. Kraus all over Ditka. Second and 10 from the 32. Another incompletion as Orton was looking for Peyton. Third and 10. And Orton looking for Ditka in the flat. Incomplete, and again from the 32, even with the wind, Chicago is going to punt. I don't think they trust the range of Robbie Gould. I'll watch for a fake here. And that is going to go out of bounds at the 5. So Brown, a good kick there on the punt, and it's first and 10 from the 5. A minute 44 to go. I'm going to run Peterson inside, see if we can get a little traction here. And he only gains 2 yards. I'm probably going to shut it down and just play for the half. No, Chicago called timeout, so I can't. How about Kleinsasser on the screen on 2nd and 8 from the 7? And that is an incompletion, which gifted Chicago the ability not to use their last timeout. So we're going to go Diggs over the middle. Try to settle the matter with a minute 29 to go. That is incomplete. So Minnesota has to punt, and here is Lee again from his own 7. He's actually in his end zone. And Chicago's going to have excellent field position. The punt going 33. Sano turned it 5 yards. First and 10 at the 35 with a minute and 17 to go. There's a catch for Ditka. Gain of 8. That's 10 for 20 now for Orton for $1.60. First catch of the day for Iron Mike. Second and 2 from the 27. That's incomplete, but a marker.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 22. Automatic. First down.
Kraus called for the PI. It's first and 10 now from the 21. Bears still have that timeout left. Looking for Ditka, well covered. Blair tipped it, and it's second and 10 now from the 21. 59 seconds to go in the half. Incomplete. Third and 10. Orton now 10 of 23. Another incompletion. He overthrew Graham. So they'll try the kick here. This is Gould from 38 to make it a 17-7 game, which he does. And they leave a lot of time for the Vikings, who have 3 timeouts. See what happens on the kickoff. Taken by Jones, 13 yards to the 19. So I'm going to give it a try here. We're going to go Anthony Carter on the slant. Tarkenton is 6 for 12. Now he's 7 for 13 after that 20-yard reception. And we're going to go over the middle again. Fly to Chris Carter. Incomplete. 16 seconds to go. I'm going to use the slant again and go to Diggs. He's open. And how far did he get? He got 21 yards. 5 seconds left. And Minnesota with 2 timeouts only had time to use one of them. Minnesota kicking into the wind. So they're going to put 5 receivers in the game. McCray and Goldberg will be 2 of the defensive backs. Time to say a prayer and go for the Hail Mary. And I'm going to look to Anthony Carter here. We'll see if they get it. Fuller is the quarterback, the third extra defensive back. And Tarkenton threw a pass. Didn't quite make the end zone, and Reed dropped it anyway. So we have reached the end of the first half. Chicago 17, Minnesota 7, and I will be back in 60 seconds. If you like the video you're watching, feel free to use the Amazon link provided. I'll put it in the description down below. Big Pauly back with you for the second half of Minnesota Chicago, the 9th game I have done this week in the HTFL. 17-7 is your score. Chicago could be a half away from tying San Francisco with the best record in the league with 10-2. Told you what we're going to be doing Saturday. On Sunday, it's OOTP Perfect Team. We now know the release date of OOTP 23 will be April 22nd, but I am not planning to continue doing OOTP. Might do something else OOTP related, but I don't think I'm going to be doing Perfect Team next year. The Professional Wrestling Tour stops in Europe. We'll be having that for you on Sunday. Along with NBA 75-76, we have the Knicks going down to New Orleans to battle the New Orleans Jazz at the Superdome. So we have that for you on Sunday. Sayers, Sano, and Manning back deep. And if you follow my civilian channel, Life with Ella, Part 10, coming at you on Sunday. And that is a kick 1 yard deep. I think it was Sayers who brought it out. A return to 29 to the 28. So Chicago, 182 yards, 35 plays, 24 passes. Minnesota, 183 yards, 28 plays, 16 passes. So let's get into the second half here. And that's Kelliger with a gain of 5. 4 carries, 12 yards. They've kept Peyton in check, but those turnovers for the Vikings have been costly. 2nd and 5 at the 33. It's Orton, caught by Graham. Tackled by Rhodes, a gain of 16. And Graham is at 80 yards. You got 2 receivers for Chicago that could easily eclipse 100 yards today. 1st and 10 at the 49. That's Peyton, a gain of 7. It's going to be 2nd and 3 from the 44. We're down to 13:06 in quarter number 3. Catch by Peyton for 5. His first of the day, and that is a first down. 1st and 10 from the 39 of Minnesota now. Here's the give to Peyton, gain of 6. And it is 2nd and 4 to 33, and we have Peyton under center again. I'm going to watch for him. I'm going to key on him. But Peyton still picks up 3 yards.
Offense. Number 89, 10-yard penalty.
And Peyton was sprung by a block by Ditka. And it's 2nd and 14 at the 43. 10:57 left to go in the third. An incompletion. 3rd and 14 at the 43. Orton surveying the field. Can't find Graham there. And Chicago will have to punt. Orton is now 12 of 27 for 181 yards. The ball should land inside the 15. I'm going to return it. Punter was Brown, Ed Brown. 32-yard punt. Nothing on the return, as West was tackled by Dave Dewerson, who's playing special teams. 1st and 10 from the 11. Trap right Peterson. Really can't do much here in this field position. Gain of 4. Mongo McMichael on the tackle. We wish him well. I know he's been battling ALF issues the past several months. And it's going to be 2nd and 6. I'm going to go Kyle Rudolph on a short cross. And he's got a first down. Pickup of 10. Tarkenton now 9 of 17 for a $144. Interception and a touchdown. And Minnesota has the only 2 turnovers to this point of the game in the game. We'll go Kleinsasser again on the screen on 1st and 10 from the 25. He is open. And he chugs for 5 yards. Fortunato on the tackle for the Bears. 2nd and 5. I'm going to go Carter on a fly route. That's Anthony Carter, but they can't find him. Yeri is limping off. He will be back in a few plays, so they're going to bring Alderman in, Grady Alderman, to play right tackle. So we should be right here. Yes. 3rd and 5. We'll go Peterson on the screen. See if we can lure that defense in. And Peterson was loose for a little bit. 12-yard gain. Fortunato on the tackle for the Bears. 7:48 now left to go in the 3rd quarter. Peterson, inside run. Gain of 4.
Holding offense.
Which is coming back.
Number 65, 10-yard penalty.
So instead of 2nd and 6, it's 1st and 20. Carter, medium hitch. Caught. And Carter is loose. This could be a house call. It is. Chris Carter. Longest catch of the year. 68 yards. And we have a new game. 17-13. Walsh comes on for the all-important point after. That would cut it to 3. Good. And just like that, it's 17-14. 6 plays, 89 yards. The drive took 3:55, punctuated by Tarkenton's 68-yard throw to Carter. But that was mostly Carter running it back, or running it to the house. Sayers back deep for Chicago. We had him in a game against Cleveland where he took an overtime kickoff all the way for a score. He took that 33 yards out to the 32, took it a yard deep from his end zone. 1st and 10 from the 32, and Orton throws it successfully to Graham. He gets a 1st down. Orton now 13 of 29 for 191 yards. 6:18 to go in the 3rd. And that is Peyton, a 2-yard gain. Dolman on the tackle. And it's 2nd and 8. Peyton loose, gets the 1st, gain of 10. Xavier Rhodes made his 10th tackle of the game. Either or the other. 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 46. And this is Conway. 24 yards. Covert hurt on the play, but he's staying in. So the Bears standing and delivering here. They might have a counter for that quick score Minnesota got. 3:55 left in the 3rd. Just the 5th play of the drive, and they're already at the 22 of Minnesota. Ditka with a catch to get him to the 4. And Page was hurt on that last play. His return is only probable. So Chris Dolman comes in. He's out of Pittsburgh. He's a 9 defensive end. Page was a 10+. 1st and goal at the 4. Peyton, Pater, touchdown, Bears. And they take a 23-14 lead. Your point after. Good by Harder. It's 24-14. So Chicago answering the bell. Coming back, getting a touchdown of their own to go back up 10. With 3:02 now left in the 3rd. It's Ishmael, Nelson, and Jones back deep. We'll touch it. We'll take a knee and take the touchback. Bring it out to the 20. Now Tarkenton's got a little work to do. We're going to go screen. But it's a short, tight defense, so we're going to go fly route to Anthony Carter. And Tarkenton runs, and he's good at it. Gain of 12. 1st and 10 at the 32. Stretch play, Peterson. He gains just 2 yards. Night Train Lane came up and made the tackle for the Bears. Dickerson. No, not Dickerson. Dickerson plays with Atlanta. Diggs, medium fly. Got it. 1st down, but check the penalty.
personal foul, defense. Number 26, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
McCray, who got the pick six earlier in the game, commits the personal foul. And it's 1st and 10 at the Chicago 36. They'll go four wide. That brings in Paul Flatley. And that's who we're going to go to on the short hitch. Incomplete.
Illegal motion, offense. Number 81, 5-yard penalty.
Anthony Carter called for that. And we're going to screen it to Chuck Foreman on 1st and 15. And he'll get the first, a gain of 19. McCray and Goldberg were the extra defensive backs. I'm going to go Kleinsasser, trap right, with 49 seconds left in the third quarter. A fumble, but Minnesota kept possession. White recovered it, and that'll do it for quarter number 3. It's 24-14 Chicago. Chicago with 48 plays, 289. That's their total yards. 31 passes. Minnesota, 39 plays for 331 yards, 23 passes. So we have had so far, if my math is right, 620 yards of total offense. Not too shabby. And we're going to go Anthony Carter on the medium hitch at the 21. This is 2nd and 9. And Carter has himself a touchdown. Anthony Carter. The standout out of the University of Michigan, who went on and played in for the Michigan Panthers in the USFL of old in 1983. They took them to the USFL championship, beating the Philadelphia Stars. Of course, the USL is about ready to get started anew. That'll be just a few weeks down the road. 24-21 with 14:47 left in regulation. And it's Sayers back deep for Chicago. That's a touchback. 1st and 10 from the 20. See what the Bears can do here to answer. And this is Peyton. Peyton picking up 5 yards. He's at 61 on the day on 13 carries. Has 1 catch for 5. 2nd and 5 at the 25. And that is Conway with another 15-yard gain. And they take him out of the game. Put Hill and Graham back in, your starting receivers. And I'll go up here and see if we can see how many catches Conway has. He has 2 for 39. 1st and 10 from the 40. 14 minutes now left in the fourth quarter. Hill goes over 100, but George Connor will not return from this game. Harlan Hill, 101 yards on that, his 6th catch. So going in for Connor is going to be Fred Davis out of Alabama. I don't think they have the right Fred Davis in the picture. He's a tight end, defensive defensive tackle out of Alabama. So they had the wrong Fred Davis in that photo. 1st and 10 from the 47. That's Conway. That's a gain of 10 for a first down. 1st and 10 from the 37. Orton now 18 to 34, 271 and a touch. Looking for Ditka, but some Vikings converged on him, an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 at the 37. We've had 9 penalties in the game, by the way. Loss of a yard. Peyton tackled behind the line by Dolman. 3rd and 11 at the 38. With 12:25 now left in the fourth. And that's Hill. Did he get the first? He did. His 7th catch. That's a season high in catches. He now is at 112 yards. I believe Graham is very close to 100 yards of his own. 6 for 90. And Conaway enters the game. He's up at the left sideline. Top of your screen. Left split end. 1st and 10 at the 27. The give is to Peyton.
Holding. Offense. Number 80. 10-yard penalty.
But Conway gets called for holding. Back up Chicago 10 for a 1st and 20 at the 37. Incomplete, looking for Hill. Pass incomplete. 19 for 37 now is Kyle Orton. 2nd and 20. That's a completion to Graham. Gain of 8. Kelliger. His return questionable. So you got Roland Harper and Willie Galt entering the game. Harper out of Louisiana Tech. No stranger to Walter Payton. And Willie Galt, world-class Willie, out of the University of Tennessee, was a sprinter that was converted to wide receiver. 3rd and 12 from the 29, was a well-known sprinter. And that's Ditka gaining 15. Orton goes over 300 on the day. He's at 305. 1st and 10 from the 14. Chicago. Could they answer the bell again here? Yes, they can. Roland Harper with the touchdown. His first catch of the game for 14. And more importantly, the Bears are now up more than a score. It's 30-21, make it 31-21 with the extra point by Harper. Ishmael back deep for Minnesota. So we roll right along here, and this return 23 yards to the 29. And a 1st and 10 from there. And we're pretty much going to have to match Chicago score for score here and hope we get some luck on defense. Gain of 17. Tillman on the stop, and Tarkenton now climbs over 300. So both quarterbacks have now gone over the 300-yard mark. Tarkenton at 301, which is a U.S. highway just outside of Tampa. Trap right, Adrian Peterson. And he loses a yard. Urlacher makes the tackle. And I'm going to look to Jordan here on a medium slant on 2nd and 11. And that's a penalty.
Pass interference, defense. Number 27, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
So they get Mark Carrier, the Chicago defensive back, not Mark Carrier, the Tampa receiver, on that pass interference. 1st and 10 from the 40. We're going to go Peterson on a screen. And Tarkenton now 17 of 26. And he has a season high of 307 yards passing. Lane on the tackle for Chicago. And I'm going to go quarterback draw with Tarkenton on 2nd and 4. Oh, nothing there. 3-yard loss. Urlacher providing the stop. So now 3rd and 7. We have 7:04 left to go. Flyer out to Diggs. And, oh, he dropped it. McCray drilled him. The ball jarred loose. Well, 4th and 7. A 65% chance Blair Walsh can hit this field goal, so I'm going to give him a shot. But this is from 54 yards with the wind, but no good. No good. So Chicago feeling a little more chesty now. 56 yards away from pay dirt. We do use the old NFL rules that the kick goes back to the kicking spot. So Chicago in pretty good shape. 1st and 10 from the 44. Can they put Minnesota away on this possession? Payton gaining 3. Simeon on the stop for Minnesota. 2nd and 7 from the 47. And Payton with a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 6. Minnesota's defense has to step up. Fumble! Recovered by Minnesota. Speak of the devil. Randall recovering that fumble. But Minnesota pretty much has to score quick. 31-21, they trail. We're going to go... Actually, you know what we should do? We should go for the whole Megillah right here. Play action bomb to Diggs. It worked earlier in the game. I don't know if it'll work twice. And Tarkenton letting it go. Incomplete. Tillman batted it up. Okay, worth a shot, especially with the wind at Tarkenton's back. Screen to Patterson on 2nd and 10. Oh, and Tarkenton had the roll to his right.
Roughing the passer, defense. Number 76, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And Mungo McMichael, Steve Mungo McMichael, flattened him. Roughing the passer is called. It's 1st and 10 from the 36. I'm going to go slant with Carter. 4:14 now left to go. And Tarkenton going back. Picked off. And this is going to be another house call, it looks like. Yes! Urlacher went all the way for a touchdown. And that pretty much is going to seal Minnesota's fate. A 76-yard return for Bryant. It's 37-21, and the extra point will make it a 3-score game. And Chicago looking good in Minnesota, 38-21, 3:59 to go. And Ishmael will take the kickoff in front of his own 5. Ran it back 18 yards to the 25, so he started at the 7. So now Minnesota will hurry. We're going to go medium fly to Carter. Second pick of the game for Tarkenton. A gain of 8. They'll hurry. They'll go no huddle and hurry. Medium fly to Diggs on 2nd and 2 from the 33. He's got it. A gain of 15. Diggs has gone over 105 yards on his 5th catch. 1st and 10 at the 48. Chris Carter, medium out. 2:51 to go. And Carter has that, and he gets out of bounds, but he's short of the first. Night Train Lane has made 10 tackles today. And with the 2-minute warning, I'm going to put 3 tight ends in, which is going to be Jordan, Rudolph, and Shenko. Peterson, an inside run. He's got the first, pickup of 2. Try another play before the 2, but I don't think I'd get it off. No. 2 minutes left to go, 38-21. And I'm going to keep just throwing out routes. I'm going to go to Chris Carter again. Ball at the 40, and Carter with another grab. He goes over 100, 110. So we've had 3 receivers in this game go over 100 yards receiving, and Graham is at 98. 1:49 to go. And with the ball at the 28, I'm going to go a long out to Anthony Carter. Tarkenton in the gun. And that is Chris Carter. Timeout called. And Minnesota has 2. 2nd and 5. I'm going to look medium out to Anthony. Ball at the 21. He's got the first if it stands.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense. Number 33. Automatic. First down.
So move Minnesota to the 4-yard line. And I'm going to go hitch to Carter. Chris Carter. We'll see what happened there.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. 10-yard penalty.
Actually, it might work out for Minnesota. That backs them up to the 14. I'm going to run the fade to Diggs on 1st and goal. Incomplete. 2nd and goal. Tarkenton now 23 of 36 for 372. I'm going to run a medium pass, and I'll look to Chris Carter again. Looking for his 7th catch of the day. Incomplete. 3rd and goal. I'm going to go for it on 4th if we don't get it. Medium fly to Anthony Carter, 81. And a sack for Atkins. 2nd of the game. We'll call our timeout here, and that'll leave us with 2 left. 57 seconds left. I might as well just say a prayer here and go Hail Mary. No, we can't go Hail Mary. We just got to throw it deep. The quarterback must pass this one to Carter. And Tarkenton heaves it. Incomplete, deflected by Lane. And with 47 seconds left to go, Chicago's going to put this in the win column. Orton taking I'm not even going to use my last time out because it would be pointless. Even if I miraculously got the ball back, I wouldn't have enough time to score 17 points. So that's your game, folks, and that is week 12 here in the HTFL. 38-21, Chicago beating Minnesota. MVP was Kyle Orton. Minnesota had 428 yards, only made one non-scoring trip to the red zone. Chicago 384. Both teams with 7 penalties. Chicago slightly better in terms of time of possession. They ran 64 plays to Minnesota's 57. Orton, 22 of 39, 319, 2 touchdowns, 1 sack. Peyton, 17 carries, 67 yards. Hill and Graham each had 7 catches. We had 3 receivers go over 100. Hill, 112. Carter, 6 for 115. Diggs, 5 for 105. And your defensive standout was we had Rhodes for Minnesota leading in tackles with 13, but Urlacher probably made the defensive play of that game with that long interception. So I hope you have all enjoyed week 12 here at the HTFL. So 6 more weeks to go. We will be in mid-May by the time the playoffs start. If you missed a game or want to see a game, go ahead and check out my PayHip page. Payhip.com/Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, all one big gigantic word. And I will be back with you on Monday for some more HTFL. Got a whole bunch of shenanigans for you on the weekend. HTBL on YouTube and PayHip. Big Pauly's Fight Night. Light heavyweight action. Triple header, I believe. And then on Sunday, OOTP Perfect Team as we wind up OOTP 22. The Professional Wrestling Tour, their stop in Europe. We'll know the final participant in the Battle Royal Super Series finals, which we will be doing on the 29th. And to wrap it all up, NBA 75-76, New Orleans hosting the New York Knicks. This has been Big Pauly wishing you well. Godspeed, God bless. We will do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.